Why did I do it? I should have learned my lessons with the Candyman and Bloody Mary. How do I get myself mixed up in these things? It was a stormy day, Friday, April 13th. I'm not superstitious, but bad things always happen to me on Friday the 13th. I spilled milk on my favorite t-shirt, I flunked the math test, I spilled my lunch on the cutest boy in school, and then I twisted my ankle in PE. Little did I know, my day was just about to get a whole lot worse. After the bell rang, I was confronted by Jeffrey, the new kid. Jeffrey had just enrolled in the school, and I was appointed to be his guide. Jeffrey was nice enough, but he was just a little too creepy. He had a wide smile painted to his face, bread white skin, and dark, soulless eyes that seemed to see through my soul. The deepest, darkest secrets of my soul.
Kat, you're a great artist. Can you do me a favour?
Cautiously, I said, "You know an awful lot for a new kid."
Word got around about your artistry.
He took out a piece of paper and showed it to me.
Your friend Christine gave me this. Look familiar?
Indeed it did look familiar. It was the picture of Pinkamena Diane Pie in her cupcakes outfit, the dress sewn out of the cutie marks with Pegasus wings stitched on, and her necklace of severed unicorn horns. But, I sputtered. Christine had gone missing 3 days ago, and I had been worried sick about her. Tears trickled down my cheeks, and I was beginning to like Jeffrey less and less with every breath.
Now, I would like you to...
I didn't wait for Jeff to finish. I flung my backpack over my shoulder and burst through the school doors. I'm known for being the fastest runner in the school. I ran down to Maple Avenue, the neighborhood next to mine. I stopped to catch my breath and look around. No sign of Jeffrey. I turned back, and Jeffrey was right there in front of me.
Cool it, Kat. Just listen for a second, will ya?
He said. "Get away from me, you creep!" I sobbed and swung my backpack at him. He ducked, but it didn't faze him that I was going crazy. Like it was perfectly normal for a girl to attack him or something. "What do you want?" I asked, finally giving up my attempts to knock him sideways.
I just want you to draw a picture for me.
He gave me a piece of paper and a creepy-looking pen with rubber spikes on it.
Here.
I was confused. Then inspiration struck me. I wrote down on the paper in words that looked like they were scrawled on by a 5-year-old. I am not a serial killer. Just then, the rubber spikes on the hand turned hard. I yelped and dropped the pen. Drops of my blood dropped onto the paper. Jeffrey beamed.
Thank you. I will keep this forever.
I sucked on my sore fingers while Jeffrey walked away. I picked up my backpack again and walked back towards the house. I slept uneasy that night. My fingers hurt, and I couldn't get the look of Jeffrey's face when I began to bleed out of my mind. Suddenly I heard a creak. I sat up abruptly. A shadow stood there a couple feet from my bed. "Dad?" I asked. "Is that you?"
Your daddy's still sleeping, Kathy.
I recognized the voice. It was Jeffrey's voice. I tried to chuckle. "Oh, very funny, Jeffrey, but how'd you get into my house?" I felt for my baseball bat.
Please, call me Jeff.
I wrapped my hands around the bat's handle. I probed for the right time to throw it.
That's enough reminiscing. It's time to begin.
"Get out!" I screamed and flung the bat. I hit Jeff in the forehead and he moved towards me. I tried to dance out of his path, but he grabbed my wrist and didn't let go. I kicked and screamed, bit and spit, and hit him with my free hand with no avail. He took out a needle with a syringe and plunged it into my neck. Then he let go. Slowly I slipped from consciousness, woozy and confused. I began seeing double.
Codeine works every time.
I tried to keep myself awake, but the drug kept dousing the adrenaline I forced into my blood. "Stay awake! Stay awake!" I murmured to myself.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
And I passed out. I woke up about an hour later. I thought it was just a nightmare, and I was relieved that it was over. I tried to shake my head, but it was strapped firmly into place. So were my arms and legs, strapped to my bed. I tried to look up, and Jeff was standing there. At least, it looked a little like Jeff. His skin was bleached white, his lips were a bright red, and he had thin black hair. The only recognizable feature I saw were the eyes that seemed to probe my soul for weaknesses.
Good. You're awake. Now we can get started.
He smiled, making his sick grin even wider. He began to advance towards me, holding a jagged knife. I thrashed about as he walked to the right side of my bed, and I began to cry.
Don't cry. It'll all be over soon.
He twirled the knife in his hand.
Besides, Christine didn't cry this much when it was her turn. She took it like it came, without fear.
That did it. I was boiling mad. No, try livid. How dare he? How dare he kill my friend and use it as a trick to let him kill me? I noticed that one of the straps lying next to me was loose, the left leg strap. I let Jeff lean down close enough to me so that we were looking eye to eye.
Bye, Catherine. Thanks for nothing, Jeff.
Then I kicked, and my leg came loose. I kicked him in the side, and he dropped the knife. I caught it in my teeth and used it to cut one of the arm straps. Then I undid the rest of the straps.
No!
Jeff roared, coming at me with a needle. I dodged it. He had swung too hard, and it brought his arm back to his stomach. He groaned, dropping to the floor. I glared at Jeff. He had gotten a taste of what it was like to be the victim. I'm going to call the police! I trembled as I started to skid out of the room. Jeff coughed.
No! Please, help me.
I stopped and whipped my head around. I glared at him with an evil glare. Help you? Just like you helped all those people who begged you for their lives? A lot of people suffered because of you.
Please, just let me go. You won't have to worry about your friends because of me.
Oh, just like I don't have to worry about Christine anymore? Any more of my friends you killed? I started towards the door again.
Christine is still alive. She's at my place. In the basement.
I stopped. I stared into Jeff's eyes. They had grown cold, sad, and frightened. The poor thing was telling the truth. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't leave him like that. He looked just as scared as I was. Give me the address first, I mumbled. He gave me the address, then I asked him, Where'd you get the codeine? Do you got any adrenaline in there?
Yes. I got some adrenaline. It's in my bag.
I found a black bag and a shot of adrenaline. I plunged the needle into Jeff's neck. Slowly, he recovered and stood up. Now get out, I growled. Jeff stared at me, and I stared back. We stared at each other for a while. Jeff was breathing hard as if trying to process what just happened. Finally, he grabbed my shoulders. I struggled, and then realized what he was about to do. He leaned down to my ear and rasped.
Thank you.
And then he left through the window without another word. The following day, I rode my bike to the address Jeff had given me. The place was broken down and deserted. Blood covered the walls and spatters. I walked down to the basement, and sure enough, there was Christine. She looked beaten, battered, and bruised. As soon as we got out of the building, Christine started drilling me with questions. What happened? How'd you get out of there alive? Where were you? What? I cut her off. I didn't want to talk about him. I brought Christine back to her parents' house, and they were relieved. Christine told them that a strange man had taken her. Christine told them that a strange man had taken her when she was walking home from choir. He bit her with a bat and told her that I was next, and that we were going to die together. Chris's parents drilled me with questions, but I told them some things were best left unsaid. After that, I left. I was unsure where to go from there. I had made it. I had survived. Jeff told the truth about everything so far. But was he really going to stop hunting my friends? The next week, I was reading one of my dad's Things Do Happen magazines. I came upon an article about a strange murder. A man in Rhode Island was doused in lighter fluid and lit on fire. His face was then painted white, his lips red, and his hair dyed black. I realized what the murder was talking about. It was the story on how Jeff the Killer came to be.